Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. The community of Smeaton has suffered a significant loss with the roof of the local recreation center collapsing. The mayor of Smeaton says the collapse happened around 1:30 this morning and that luckily the building was not in use. The fire department is asking residents to keep their distance from the structure for safety purposes. The mayor says the building that's been in place for almost 50 years covers a full acre of land. It has 3 curling sheets, a skating rink and auditorium used for village meetings. One of the next significant breakthroughs of science in our time could happen right here in Saskatchewan, thanks to a new tool at the University of Saskatchewan. The university unveiled the first components of its quantum computer, the first ever of its kind in Canada. Using more than $2 million from the federal and provincial government, this new computer represents a significant jump forward in research capability for decades to come. Stephen Ryan is the lead of the U of S Quantum Center. He says testing vaccines against a concerning pathogen could happen in minutes instead of a year.
I would say that the candle is to the light bulb as the ordinary computing chip is to this. That's the leap that we're talking about.
Researchers and students will be able to begin using the quantum computer when it's finished being built in the fall. After residents of a mobile home community near Saskatoon voiced their concerns about Sunset Estates, the landowner has closed its community office indefinitely. Compass Communities owns and operates the park. Residents recently began filing applications with the Office of Residential Tenancies to flag what they felt were improper hikes in monthly fees. Residents say the sudden closure of the community office has created a lot of frustration as they try to raise their concerns with the company.
They worked really closely with the community and they worked really closely with the community associations. They were a part of this just as much as I am. It's really unfortunate to see that we have no access to that anymore.
CTV has reached out to Compass Communities for a comment. The Saskatchewan Teachers Federation is launching a public awareness campaign about education funding. In the provincial budget earlier this month, funding to the 27 school divisions in Saskatchewan was increased by nearly 2.6%. The STF says when specialized supports, inflation and enrollment growth are factored in, this represents a decrease in per-student funding. Now the STF is calling on people to write an email to their MLAs to keep public pressure on the provincial government to increase funding.
Acknowledge that public education is a priority for their constituents. Explain how these funding decisions will affect schools and students locally, and outline what actions they will need to take within their caucus to advocate for students, families, and communities.
CTV has contacted the Ministry of Education for comment. We'll have more on that at 6. Well, it's cold and snowy out there, but it's starting to warm up over at the Art Hauser Center. But what do we have in the way of weather, Jeff?
You know, things look like they're going to be relatively quiet, John, with regard to the impending or the weather that is coming our way. Not a lot in the way of active weather, and that's good news. And even better news, things are warming up. They're warming up ever so slowly. Now, will they get to seasonal values or warmer as we head into the Easter weekend? We'll talk about that later on.
A sentencing hearing is underway at Court of King's Bench for the man convicted of killing Misha Pavlik. Pavlik was stabbed at a grad party near Regina Beach in May of 2006. A Regina man who cannot be named because he was under 18 at the time of the crime was found guilty of second-degree murder in November of 2025. Members of Pavlik's family read victim impact statements in court this morning. The Saskatchewan government is calling it good news for farmers. The feds are temporarily lifting the ban on strychnine in Saskatchewan and Alberta to combat the increase of gophers damaging crops. Last week, the 2 prairie provinces sent a joint emergency request to Health Canada, pointing to gopher infestations costing millions of dollars in damage. Under the Pest Control Producers Act, Ottawa is allowing Saskatchewan and Alberta to register strychnine for use until November of 2027. The federal government highlights ongoing challenges for farmers, including market uncertainty, trade barriers, and changing climate for making the decision. Shoppers may be noticing more food options with high protein labels and questioning their origin or safety. Regina-based AGT Foods says plant-based protein is one of the key ingredients for the protein added to foods like bread, pasta, and cereal. Saskatchewan produces the majority of natural crops required for high-protein foods. The agri-food business says it's seeing a growth in demand.
Things that we grow in Saskatchewan, like pulses, lentils, chickpeas, peas, and beans, are natural sources, of those protein and fiber that the consumer is looking for. So, we're seeing it, kind of coming into everyday foods.
Dietitians encourage shoppers to read all ingredients and labels on food products to know whether additional protein content is whole-based. The end of door-to-door mail delivery could be en route as Canada Post says it's moving ahead with the restructuring plan mandated by the federal government. The Crown Corporation says it's transforming its business model to continue meeting the needs of Canadians without becoming a burden on taxpayers. In September, the federal government directed Canada Post to implement a number of transformations to ensure its survival, including converting of all remaining door-to-door delivery to community mailboxes. Employees' union has repeatedly pushed back against the proposals. When we come back, science projects of all kinds. Jasmine Pelche previews the Prince Albert and Northeast Region Science Fair.
We're at the Prince Albert Science Center for the Prince Albert and Northeast Regional Science Fair. Hi, Trista. You're one of the organizers for this. How many years has this science fair been running?
I think the science fair has been running for a long time. I remember doing this in 2014, I think. I wasn't involved with the regional fair then. I just was a teacher bringing students. And then in, I want to say 2015, I had students in Shelbrook doing a science fair, and we went to register for the regional fair, and there was no information about it, and the one lady that was doing it just couldn't do it by herself anymore, and nobody had picked it up, and so myself and another teacher decided to keep it going, and it's just kind of been going since then.
Has it grown over the years? How many kids are you seeing this year?
Yeah, I would say we've been pretty steady at about 40 to 50 kids for the last probably 5 years. Before that, I would say we had significantly less. We've been growing, but not at a rate that we can't keep up with, I guess. Yeah.
For the kids, what sort of age range is, present for this science fair? How old are all of them?
Yep. We'll take grade 5 to 12. We usually have the most in grade 7 and 8. We can send 2 students to Canada-wide Science Fair. It's in Edmonton this year, and they only take from grade 7 and up, so 7 to 12. So the 5-6s they're kind of practicing for that. Yeah.
What sort of projects are you seeing here?
We see anything from volcanoes and elephant toothpaste and paper airplanes to bioplastics and people working with the synchrotron to try and find out if the site where Weyerhaeuser used to be has any contaminants in the soil. We have a project that is trying to see if she can reuse cigarette butts into something usable. And so it's kind of varied, but I find that as the kids come each year, it gets better and better. So grade 5, grade 6, they're sort of taking an experiment and just doing it because they think it's interesting and they think it's going to be fun. They want to play with chemicals and make some elephant toothpaste maybe. But once they start to get the hang of it and know what it takes to get the high marks and they want to go into Canada-wide, then they really start to step it up. And I think it just takes that couple years of being interested in it and doing it and then seeing, okay, I'm starting to realize what it takes to get good marks. Yeah.
Where are the kids from? Are they all local or?
Yep. Our area goes as far as Nepewan, so we always extend the invitation. We generally just have students from Sask River's school division come. This year we have 9 students from the Distance Learning Centre that have chosen to come. We're hoping next year that PA Catholic will join too. They were interested this year. They just couldn't find someone interested, I guess, in the classroom to do it. So we're hoping that changes for next year. We have 2 students this year from Carleton Smeaton. We have quite a few from Christopher Lake. We have some from Spruce Home and Red Wing and Shellbrook Elementary. We had other interests this year, people emailing me, but it takes a teacher to really get it going in a certain school. And then, if you don't have that person, then the kids don't really have that mentor at the school.
While I have you here, is there anything else that it's important to get across?
I think the fact that if you are not having a school fair, you can still bring your own project. So we try and get the information out that, maybe your teacher doesn't feel like they can fit it in. Maybe they're not comfortable with doing science fair. But if a student is keen to do one, then email one of the organizers and they can come to our regional fair. And it's good practice, it's good experience for them, it's good exposure. So you don't have to have done it at your school to come to the regional fair.
Sounds great. Thanks for stepping out for a minute to speak with me.
Jeff's got the weather forecast coming after the break, plus a Canadian-made hairbrush designed for neurodivergent comfort. A little sun goes a long way today, Jeff, and now is it Game 3? Everybody's getting ready for the Raiders game. What are they going to be walking into?
Well, they might be walking into some puddles. The temperatures may be below zero in terms of the air temperature, but the radiant heat of the sun hitting the pavement in a lot of areas, warming things up, making things a bit on the sloppy side. So maybe by the time you get to game time, things will have cooled off a little bit, and there might be won't be as much as much moisture lying around. But the bottom line is we've got ourselves warmer temperatures than we've had in a while, so a lot of people looking forward to that. They've had a relatively nice day yesterday and today out in British Columbia, but things are going to change on Wednesday. We expect to see some showers moving in, some snow for the alpine areas. Relatively quiet conditions across the prairies, but there is another system coming up from the States, and that could impact areas in southern Alberta, and that might make an impact on Saskatchewan. Right now, it doesn't look like it's a necessarily so situation, but we'll have to keep our eye on that. And then a series of storms is going to make its way through Ontario and Quebec out to Atlantic Canada. In some places in the northern areas, you're looking at freezing rain and snow pellets. In southern areas, rain, and obviously in areas to the north, it's going to be snow. So a bit of a nastier situation as we make our way into the rest of the work week in eastern and Atlantic Canada. All right, let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our futurecast. Well, the winds aren't going to be particularly strong, and as you can see, there's a little something showing up here and there, but really nothing in the way of an organized storm coming our way, at least not for now. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on overnight. Minus 10 degrees for Spiritwood under partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy in the Battlefords, minus 9. In fact, partly cloudy skies what we'll find throughout much of the region. Minus 13 degrees in Candle Lake, minus 11 in Birch Hills and Melfort, and minus 12 the overnight temperature in Rostern and Nipawin. On to Wednesday, and temperatures, well, they're still below seasonal, but they'll probably feel a lot nicer than what we've had recently. 0 degrees in Spiritwood on Wednesday, 1 in the Battlefords, minus 1 in Candle Lake, Birch Hills, and Rostern. Birch Hills and Rostern with a bit more cloud cover. Cloudy and minus 2 in Melfort, and at the freezing mark, Nipawin with mainly cloudy skies and 0 degrees. Okay, here we go with Prince Albert and area. Minus 12 degrees with partly cloudy conditions. The winds shift around a little bit and sort of back off just a hair, and we are still dealing though with a southerly flow, and then making our way into Wednesday for the Gateway City. Mainly cloudy skies, winds out of the southeast at 15. The daytime high is 0 degrees. It's still substantially below seasonal, but I suspect a lot of people will say, no problem, we can deal with that. 1 degree on Thursday, Good Friday 2, 4 on Saturday, Easter Sunday 2 degrees, 0 degrees on Monday, and we've got ourselves a temperature of 3 degrees with mainly cloudy skies on Tuesday. So a relatively mild 7-day outlook, John.
And I guess we're almost into, I guess people want to be in galoshes weather, but like today with all the melting, maybe those aren't the wrong shoe choice.
You know what? It's just fun to say galoshes. Whatever the situation, galoshes.
What's the other one? Gumboots?
Gumboots.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah,
little vocabulary.
Yeah, sure. Good times.
Perfect. Well, thanks, Jeff. A Nova Scotia hockey mom who lost her job following the provincial budget cuts has started down a new path. What sprung up from the disappointment, though, is truly inspiring. Here's Jonathan McInnes.
Getting ready to hit the ice. Hockey is only something that Jessie Jackard's 8-year-old daughter Sophia started a year ago.
She's been saying she wanted to play hockey since she was probably 3 or 4. And every year I'm like, I cannot commit to spending that money at that age and have her get on the ice and say, I don't think I'm sure.
But her daughter insisted, and as parents of athletes know, it's a major commitment.
Getting her to and from the rink 3 days a week is a lot, and it's pretty much every weekend, every other weekend, so it's a big, big commitment, but she loves it, so it makes it worth doing.
But things changed earlier this month when her coach asked her to play goalie.
She lit right up, so she came off the ice, put all the gear on, went back, and after that it was like, nope, I 1,000,000% want to be goalie.
This was something I wanted to do for a while.
But that took a toll.
I was so upset because I'm like, financially, like, how can I be a goalie mom? Like, being a hockey mom is hard, but being a goalie mom is a whole new ballgame.
After piecing together mismatched second-hand gear with help from her team and the local rink, her mom saw the joy in her daughter's eyes and did everything to make that dream come true. So with spring hockey season here, Easter came early for Sophia.
Are they closed?
Overcome with emotion, a gift she'll never forget, a brand new goalie mask.
Oh, you don't have to cry. That meant so much to her, which of course meant the world to me.
What she didn't expect was for that video to take off. Since that time, she's had people, organizations, and even an NHL team reach out offering to help.
So far, we've received a new blocker, new mitts coming at some point, a goalie bag.
Things that each cost hundreds of dollars, with strangers pitching in any way they can.
I didn't realize worldwide how big it is and how much people are willing to jump in and help and make like a kid's dream come true.
Backed by her mom and strangers across the globe. Callum Smith, CTV News, Yarmouth.
Do you have a community event you would like to promote? Or maybe you'd like to draw attention to your organization. Let your local CTV station help you spread the word. Contact us at 306-922-6020 or email panews@ctv.ca. You can appear on CTV Prince Albert's News at 5 and get your message to our viewers.
A Montreal entrepreneur is making hairbrushes catered to neurodivergent comfort. Christine Long reports.
Maya has beautiful pink curly hair. Brushing it used to be a battle for her mom, Janice Ayat.
She's autistic, she's 8 years old, and she has a lot of sensory issues, and hairbrushing has always been a major struggle.
It got so bad, Ayat wanted to avoid the daily drama.
I had to shave my daughter's head because we couldn't find any brush that she could tolerate, and I didn't want to have her go through the torture anymore.
That's when she designed the brush her family and many others have been looking for. Ayat herself lives with Asperger's syndrome and designed this brush with people who know what sensory overload feels like.
Our brush is created by autistic people, so that's me with the input of my daughter as well, and then also the neurodivergent community. So I had a bunch of people at my daughter's school and elsewhere, people with autism, Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, all kinds of disabilities.
The Neuro Standard hairbrush has a soft cushion and?
There's 2 types of bristles. They're premium nylon and boar bristles, and they also have a special epoxy coating on them. So the bristles are super, super soft, and they actually do untangle knots without pulling and without pain.
She says anyone who is neurodivergent or lives with sensitivities can trust the brush.
If we create a product for people who have these sensory issues, we're going to end up with a product that's better for everybody because it's not going to hurt.
She knows that families with special needs already have enough to do in a day.
I want to really have something that I think is going to change the lives of special needs families and actually solve a problem.
The brush sells for $37 and is available through theneurostandard.com. Christine Long, CTV News.
The federal government is set to extend its cap on an annual alcohol tax increase for another 2 years. It's part of an effort to lower the costs for the country's brewers, wineries, and distilleries. Taxes on alcohol had been subject to annual increases tied to inflation on April 1st of each year, but the Liberal government has temporarily capped those hikes at 2% since 2023. This was supposed to be the final year for that cap, but Ottawa is planning to renew the cap through 2028. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency, is recommending customers using HelloFresh check their kits due to possible listeria contamination. A recall that covers HelloFresh meal kits with shredded Parmesan cheese, cheese curds, feta cheese, goat cheese, or mozzarella. The CFIA says food contaminated with listeria may not look or smell spoiled, but can still make you sick. Symptoms of listeria include vomiting, persistent fever, muscle ache, headache, and neck stiffness. Severe cases can even lead to death. If you have any of the recalled products, return them or throw them out.
Brought to you by Saskatchewan Union of Nurses. Thank you to Saskatchewan's 11,000 registered nurses.
Okay, Jeff, you may have heard of the phrase quiet as an elephant. Well, one elephant recently went on a little journey through their neighborhood. Alice the elephant was spotted on a walkway for people. This is at the Albuquerque Biopark. Zoo workers say Alice somehow managed to get out of her enclosure and she just went on a stroll. She was eventually led back to her enclosure and the zoo was closed at the time, so no guests would have been caught by surprise. Do you think if Alice the elephant showed up to the office, Jeff, would you be a little surprised?
A little. No, maybe I wouldn't be as freaked out if I worked at a zoo, but yeah.
But granted, I mean, I was watching this video. Elephants have something about them. They're quite calm. I've never been in a stampede of elephants.
Wait till they see a mouse. They go crazy.
Exactly. There you go. But I've never heard the quote, quiet as an elephant.
Well, you're
Is that a
No, I suppose it is. I was just agreeing with you, but okay. So you've never heard it.
No, I would think the opposite because we had a roommate. I was in the basement and I had a roommate in the upper level. We used to call him Elefante because we could hear his steps thumping around.
Oh, okay.
No matter where he was going or what time of night, it was just the heels were thumping into the floor. And that poor house doesn't stand anymore, though. But there you go. National news is next.
Thanks.